Banking is a business of risk. In risk is always linked to fear. You've given somebody some money and now you have this fear. Will he pay me back or not? Will he pay the bank back? But at Guardian Bank, we've gone to the extent of saying we are a bank of hope rather than fear.
என் பேர் ஷோபாங்க. எனக்கு ஒரு பையன் ஒரு பொண்ணு. எனக்கு ஹஸ்பண்டு டைல்ஸ் வேலை செய்கிறாங்க. ஹவுஸ் கீப்பிங் தான் வேலை செய்கிறாங்க. பெருக்கிறது, தொடிக்கிறது, டாய்லெட் க்ளீன் பண்ணுறது அதெல்லாம் பண்ணுறது. நான் வெளியே இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வாங்கியிருந்தேன். ஒரு பசங்க படிக்க வைக்கணும், வீட்டுக்கு பண்ணணுன்னா அது கொஞ்சம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக இருந்துச்சு.
Money lending is the world's second oldest profession. It is a very common practice in the informal sector in India for people to borrow money and then the lender tells them, all you have to do is just pay me back the interest. And the interest is quoted as a percentage point per week or per month. And very often the borrower is not able to do the math to realize what this translates into.
வெளியில வாங்கிடுவோம், இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்க்கு வாங்கிடுவோம். நான் வீட்டுக்கு போகும்போது ரொம்ப
people who work as cleaners in an office, their salaries may not be very high, but they also have credit needs. And I can tell you examples of people who have medical problems. Many of them didn't have even medical insurance, and then you have families where they wanted to fund their children's education. So invariably sometime in the year they needed finance, and if they didn't get that from bigger banks, they were going to money lenders.
Very often the borrower is now become the victim of the lender. At best, he pays a huge amount of penalty for being poor. At worst, he will become the slave of the lender forever.
Normally in other banks would be you bring your income statement, you bring certain documents. So unless you had certain salary, you were not able to avail that credit facility from a bank. So Chairman did want to create a bank where finance would be available, credit would be available for even these type of people. Because we wanted to take a more humane view and see how we could help them. Many people come to the bank and say, we have borrowed from the money lenders. Can you help us? So Guardian Bank pays the money lender and relieves them of that so that they're given a monthly installment which they're paying not just the interest but even the principal keeps getting reduced.
ஏன்னா நம்ம சேலரி இப்போ கம்மியாக இருக்கிறதுனால நம்ம இப்போ இந்த வேலை தான் செய்கிறோம். நம்ம ஆஃபீஸில் என்ன படிக்கலாங்க சார், அதனால நம்ம பிள்ளைங்களை படிக்க வைக்கணும்னு ஒரு இது இருந்துச்சுங்க. லோன் செல்வா சார்கிட்ட கேட்டோம், சார் இந்த மாதிரி நான் வெளியே இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வாங்கிக்கிறேன், அது கட்ட முடியலங்க, கொஞ்சம் நீங்கள் லோன் இது பண்ண முடியுமான்னு கேட்டேன். அந்த எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் நல்லா தான் இருந்துச்சுங்க. ஏன்னா லாஸ்ட் டைம் கேட்ட உடனே எனக்கு ஒரு வாரத்தில் கெட்டுச்சு இல்லைங்களா, அது ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியாகுது.
So in Guardian Bank, the way we look at risk is just not paperwork, but also talking to them and finding out more about them. Sometimes this doesn't happen in just one interview. We may need to call them back, and sometimes we ask for their spouse to come so that we are able to talk to them. Yes, there are people who have taken loans from us and who have misused the money, and then we have struggled to get it back. I still remember the early years when I used to process loans, and sometimes the committee would feel very uncomfortable. They would actually ask me, "What's your gut feeling?" And over the years, we have developed that sense as we talk to people. Okay, this is going to work and this is not going to work.
So there is an uncertainty there. And that uncertainty plus fear is now termed as risk. And the world over, we go into conniptions by credit scoring and all sorts of ways to mitigate that risk. And I'm beginning to feel more and more that we are able to be a successful bank because a lot of people here are people of faith. They're used to this uncertainty, but they color that uncertainty, or they infuse hope into that uncertainty, which allows them to be people of faith. And in fact, you can't join Guardian Bank if you worked for another bank. You have to be fresh, pre-minted commerce graduate with a first class. And then you are put through a training where we weed out people who think that they are too good for the client who comes to see them. You have to serve by empathizing with the person sitting opposite you and going that extra mile to do whatever is in your power to help him with his financial problems. That is how you manifest your faith. We've gone to the extent of saying this is like a vocation, not a occupation or a profession. You have not found Guardian Bank. Guardian Bank has found you.
My name is Joshua Prabhakar. I've been a customer with Guardian Bank for the last 2.5 years. In 2014, I registered my company to do design work. It's not easy getting loans. It's a long procedure with banks, and they expect enormous amount of paperwork to be done. Knowing Guardian Bank, I was told that they do value business customers and their need for their growth. And one of the times I took the step to talk to them, they enabled me to get this loan, giving me an opportunity to look at business in a very different sense, actually.
My name is Francis Xavier. I've been a customer with Guardian Bank from 2007 onwards. Those days it was very difficult. Any paperwork or any transactions, it used to take a lot of time and procedures. But with Guardian Bank, people are accessible and people are favorable and people are helpful to help us carry out our business. This is a friendly bank, and moreover, it's a Christian bank, not only for Christians, but to the non-Christians also.
So Guardian was a breath of fresh air for me, actually, because if you have a backup with the bank supporting you, you have the boldness to be able to get back into the market.
I know that we definitely have made a difference in thousands of people's lives. Enable them to come out of debt and change their entire lifestyle and change their economic status too.
நம்ம கார்டியன் பேங்க் ஒரு நாள் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிச்சுங்க, பசங்க எஜுகேஷன் ஆகட்டும். அதனால தான் சரி இந்த பேங்க் தான் எனக்கு ரொம்ப பரவாயில்லன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் நான்.
There is always uncertainty, and with that uncertainty there is hope, and therefore there is faith. The faith is that over the past 20 years we have built a culture of people who are deeply ingrained with this belief that they are here to serve. And so we dare to call ourselves a bank of hope, and we hope that we still are worthy of that title.
There is hope in every situation, all this pain I'm facing. For every dream I'm chasing, there's hope. Whoa. There is hope in every situation.